Alright, hello. Today we're gonna look at a strategy that is kind of known, but it's really fun to look into anyways. It is very underrated in my opinion, as not a lot of people actually use it, and they tend to use other things, but I think that has mostly to do with the playstyle and the Warframe, simply because they think it's boring. So, what is the strategy we're talking about? Well, of course, it has to be none other than, if I can find her, Ivara. So, not even maxed out build or anything. This has the potential to reach the highest skill per minute in the entire game very easily as well. The amount of damage that you deal with this setup is absolutely insane, and it doesn't even need to have any crazy modes on it. You don't need Riven modes, you don't need anything crazy. You might not even need the helmet to reach those crazy numbers because the amount of damage of this combo is absolutely ridiculous on its own. So let's see what you need. What you truly need to do this. Uh, so this is the build. We're going for Ivara. Don't worry about the formats and everything or the modes. What is important is that your energy per second is not above zero point 0.5 and that your strength is as high as possible. And energy conversion is really good because it will snapshot the empowered quiver um, ability strength. It will snapshot this, so the quiver itself will keep and stay on that strength forever as long as it wants, and basically you just keep doing more and more damage until you stack up those small augmented stacks and energy conversion and any other ability strength passives you may have. However, that's not all. Obviously, Prowl, very good. In case you get headshots, it increases the damage by a lot. And then Roar is the subsume here, and you will see why. Eclipse also a nice choice. Wrathful Advance, especially. If you like that kind of stuff, is really nice. But Wrathful Advance feels kind of weird to use because you need to get out of the dash wire, teleport, and then get on the dash wire again, which is not very good. You'll see what I mean. The primary and secondary weapons don't matter at all. You could use something to kill the acolytes maybe and not focus on your melee weapon killing the acolytes, but your melee weapon will absolutely kill the acolytes because we are using a Syam. And what are we using on the Syam? Well, you need the galvanize mods, these ones. They're really helpful, really almost mandatory, I would say, for this build. And then you build Prime Fever Strike, which only gives toxin, but the heavy attack deals heat on its own, so this becomes gas. And then you put Lasting Sting so that the gas clouds remain for a longer time. Now, I tried a lot of arcanes, and none of them really do anything. The only one that could do anything is if you went for something like Melee Duplicate without a Riven mode, but I don't think that is very worth it. It might be worth it, you could give it a try, but since it's a heavy attack, it's gonna be harder to get into. Exposure is like whatever. You don't care about getting corrosive damage. You just want to proc gas as much as possible. Melee influence if you're gonna go gas electric, but you need a lot more bolt slots for this, as you can see. With this Riven mod that I have right here, I barely have enough space to put Lasting Sting, which completely breaks the kill per minute of this build. And therefore I went with my Retaliation, which gives me the more bonus damage when Ivara has shields. And granted, Ivara has a lot of base shields. She has 555, which means on the build that we saw, the best thing you can do, which I can do because I don't have the mod and I CBA to reformat this Ivara, is to put Boreal Hatred instead of the Streamline, and then that would be maxed. Now, would that make a big difference? Not really. Enemies already die way too quickly, the dots are absolutely through the roof, and the initial damage is also absolutely through the roof. So let's see what we're talking about here, and let's see this in the real mission. So any mission can go. You don't need to select any Alara or whatever. Any mission, any survival mission, you can do this on. You can probably get 200 kill per minute on any survival mission. So we got the interesting style set, which is pretty nostalgic actually. So the first time that I ever saw this happening is in a video by Ayun Tey. Ayun Teya is how it's pronounced. And basically he would line up somewhere here and then shoot directly in that direction, and that is because the Syam projectile ignores terrain completely, just sticks to the ground and goes through walls. So for example, as you can see, I can break those containers over there, I can break the containers over there, and I can probably break the container over there if I can aim it, but it's kind of hard from this distance. Oh, there it is. So you can understand that since this goes through walls and everything, this becomes extremely broken when paired with camping in the arrow. So simple, use Madara, snapshot all this ability strength, and then we can do the setup from Ayun Tey. It was something like, you know, up there, and then you're like here, and then you throw it there. That should work just fine. So let's see how it works. But this really doesn't need a setup. There is some issues with this. The only real issue is that some doors seem to bug out sometimes. But generally this is very, very consistent and it does a lot of damage. So if we kill an enemy, the more kills we get, the initial combo will go up. And then the Elementalist mode will go up, and now the gas procs themselves, as you can see, they deal so much damage that they can kill everything on their own. So if we hit enemies through walls at some point, I'm trying it now, like now we hit 2 enemies through the wall. That gas proc over there is gonna kill everyone through the wall because it's dealing so much damage. I have not activated Roar yet. Roar currently is just chilling. I will activate it now. But this is one of the oldest tricks to get to 100 kills per minute. Very effective, very easy to do. And honestly, with the correct setup, it's absolutely insane. So, as you can see, 1 million procs, like everything. Unfortunately, not a lot of enemies spawning that direction. Most of them spawn on this direction where I don't have any setup. So, I might need to change. And go like here instead. I think that should be better. Yeah, this is on this way. I can probably just sit here and just straight up shoot the beams forever. Beams of light, whatever you want to call this, what the Syam is doing. But yeah, as you can see, the projectile is quite broken, and it's been like this for a very, very long time. Very, very long time it's been like this, so it's just insane. And because it's a melee weapon, the damage that gas procs and some attacks do are affected by the melee multiplier, the crit multiplier of 700%, which comes from stealth kills. So having a lot of crit on this weapon, you know, that 9 million damage into gas proc will absolutely shred anything that walks into that direction. And yeah, you may say energy is the problem, but if we just move and go to the direction that energy and enemies have dropped, you see that in this room, it's just chaos. There is so many things and we're suddenly full energy again. So by making small detours like this, energy orbs maybe if needed, but you know, generally, you know, this is pretty crazy. Ivara is not really needed either to do this. Like, if you have the resources to do this with other frames, you can do this with other frames. But Ivara is the lazy solution and the very easy solution to do this with, since it can buff the weapon so much by the stealth multipliers and the dash wire arrow giving the extra critical damage, which is absolutely insane. So, we're 3 minutes in, 480 kills, obviously with messing around a lot, so doesn't really count. But yeah, as you can see, the projectile is like missing these enemies. You see that? That is because sometimes the projectile doesn't register doors that well. So it tries to go above them and it hits them, and it was the inconsistency I was talking about. So you have to be careful of that. It happens especially on tilesets like the one we have started right here. You see how it's not gonna hit those enemies except, yep, like that. And it also happens a lot on Ivara, so the big downside of the weapon is that one. But we're gonna show one more mission. Hopefully I get the one that I did the first above 200 kills per minute on when I was testing this initially on stream. And I'm gonna go to Sedna. Just to show it versus heavy Grineer enemies, because, you know, those have armor, obviously. for the average viewer, they would think that versus armor, this is not gonna be as good. Oh my god, we got the tile set. Let's go. I love how good my luck is on this unedited videos. It's just crazy. So, also, in case you didn't see, Argan Deployer 3 prime sure-footed. Very good. Except you lose it instantly because you fucked up, but yeah. On Ivara, you should never lose it, really. So, on this style set, anyway, it's like very easy as long as you aim correctly to and set up correctly to get extreme amounts of kills. So as you can see, enemies just dying through the walls, obviously. Can even move here, it doesn't matter. Where is that guy? There. I want the spawns to be like fixed onto that direction as much as possible. But yeah, you see the gas cloud is still there. It's still doing stuff, and it's like the way this build works, essentially. So on my first test, it was on this door, this exact door, that I could do this, but as you can see, you can adapt through the missions. It doesn't matter if it's like whatever survival, you can simply adapt to it and get extremely high kills per minute again by using something like this. One thing also is that I think second ability doesn't work on the Syam, or no, it does, never mind. That was interesting to see. For some reason it does. Oh, I can control it. That's very epic. Well, if somebody can control the Syam correctly using the second ability, let me know how that feels, because I cannot do it for the life of me. I'm never gonna do that. Regardless, I don't need to do that, thankfully, because, you know, the build is doing stuff on its own. But it was kind of funny to see anyways. Collecting the loot real quick, because we reached 250 kills, and here is where the kill point is happening. We're gonna put a different arrow now that we have snapshotted all the strength. We don't really care about the roar that much. The arrow is what we care about the most, obviously, because it snapshots all the strength. It's not just one cast and, you know, whatever, and yeah. Very, very good. $2.1 million gas proc, 1.6 million gas proc. You know, the gas procs can go very crazy using this and something like this. And if you experiment enough, if you get correct tile sets, anything, you can make this build reach ridiculous kills per minute. Like, you could probably get to 150 kills per minute using this if you find the correct setup and tile set. Because this is easily on a 200 kill per minute territory on its own, by just almost doing nothing. Thank you, Ayun Tey, for your contribution. I shall use your knowledge well. RIP, love you lots. Smear the blessings to everyone. He didn't die, his account got banned for Warframe, and he started, you know, actually exposing AFK strategies to people. So, he stopped caring, but honestly, for the time that he was actually creating very good content, like the one I'm showcasing now, and reviving, God bless you, dude. Yeah. Pretty straightforward stuff. And, you know, you can probably see the destruction. Like, we could even change room. We could, like, go here, or even something like there, maybe, to set up a different arrow. You can, like, move it around, do whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's very easy to do this on different tile sets, different everything, because you don't need to shoot at the specific direction every time. You can just shoot at one direction, one spawn, and then turn to the other spawn, because, you know, the gas broke is gonna take care of the rest of the spawns that are happening. So that was a 13 million gas broke that looked really sexy. And Mania is with us, and Mania is not with us anymore. Then well, yeah. So you can see how crazy this can get. This is some ridiculous stuff happening. So highly suggesting trying this one whenever you can. Especially if you have a Syam, if you have a Syam ribbon laying around. If you don't, then I can check the ribbon prices for you right now. And it will be fun to see how much the ribbon prices will increase after the video drops. Because I do think this is an underrated strategy that not many people use. If we go to Warframe Market right now, and we search Syam, it is the cheapest one, 75 plat. Okay. I remember when this weapon was 40 plat for unrolled. Back when its disposition was like way lower, because whenever a weapon releases, every disposition is 0.5, and that's what's currently happening with the Trumna versus Trumna Prime, where the Trumna is currently still a bit better than the Prime version, but yeah, doesn't really matter a lot. But yeah, this is just a combination I want to showcase because it is one of my favorites to do with Ivara specifically. And especially seeing, I will say, recent tier lists absolutely shitting on Ivara for no reason, I felt the need to do this video, but don't worry. You might see a tier list from me. Maybe two. The second one will be a funny one, so I hope you like that one. Instead of the main one that's gonna tier list the Warframes appropriately. But yeah. This is just one of the few tricks you can do with this beautiful lady that I used to play a lot, but not anymore because Wisp exists. So, thank you very much for watching another video of mine. I'll leave Discord and Twitch links in the description below, and I will see you on the next one.